Hi students, welcome to my channel Doctor's Physics. In this video I am going to start the first chapter of the 12th class syllabus, that is electrostatics. Okay, what is electrostatics? What is electrostatics? Electrostatics is nothing but simply the study of the phenomena exhibited by the charge when it is at rest. That means that when it is at static condition. There is one more thing, that is electrodynamics. What is electrodynamics? Electrodynamics is nothing but the study of the phenomenon exhibited by the charge when it is in motion. But present we will study about electrostatics. Okay, what is electrostatics? Electrostatics is nothing but the study of phenomenon, the study of phenomenon exhibited by the charge at rest. That's all. The study of phenomena exhibited by the charge when it is at rest. There is nothing but electrostatics. Or simply I can say it as the study of forces, fields, electric intensities, potentials arising due to a charge when it is at rest. Or simply the study of forces, fields, potentials arising due to a charge, which is at rest. Rest is nothing but static. The study of forces, fields, potentials, intensities arising due to a charge when the charge is at rest is nothing but electrostatics. Simply the definition. If you are preparing for board exam, please remember it. Otherwise, just leave it. Okay, next one. What is a point charge? What is a point charge? When I will say a charge, it is a point charge. Now see here. This is a charge. When I am considering the effects of this charge at a distance d, at a point which is a distance d. See here. At this point, I am considering the effect of this charge at this point which is a distance d. That means I am finding the force at this point, or I am finding the potential at this point, or I am finding the intensity of the bodies at this point, which is a distance d. When this distance d is very large when compared to the size of the charge, then I will say this charge is a point charge. Please remember this. When I am finding the effects of the charge at a distance at some particular point which is at a distance d, when that distance under consideration is very large when compared to the size of the charge, then I will call it as a point charge. Point charge doesn't mean it is small charge. If I take a football, when I compare the football with the size of the football court, football ground, then football is a point charge. And I kept the football size of charge at the corner of the football ground, and I am finding the effect of this charge at the other corner of the football ground. Then I will consider the football as the charge of the football size is as a point charge. Even though it is big size, I will consider it as a point charge because the distance under consideration is very large when compared to size. The length of the football ground is very large when compared to the size of the football. Therefore, I will consider it as a point charge. The same thing. Point charge, when the distance under consideration is very large when compared to size of the charge, then I will call it as a point charge. Okay, next one. We will see about the next topic, that is electrification. What is electrification? Okay, now see what is electrification. What is electrification? Electrification is simply the process of charging a body. That means I took a body. Now I want to charge this body to positive charge. This process is nothing but the process of charging a body is nothing but electrification. That means either from positive charge to negative charge, or from negative charge to positive charge, or from positive to neutral or neutral to negative, it may be anything. This process of charging a body is called electrification. Simply the process of charging a body is called as electrification. Now in this electrification there are three types. Electrification, the charging by the body due to the friction. Second one by conduction, and third one by the induction. I can charge a body by using these ways. That is by first one friction, by conduction, and by second last one is by induction. Okay, now see here. How can I charge a body by using friction? In your school days, it may be by 8th class or it may be 9th class, I think you studied. Whenever I rub a glass rod with a silk cloth, the glass rod will attract small pieces of papers. That is nothing but a charge. I am charging the glass rod by help of friction. Now see here. I took a glass rod and I took a silk cloth. When I rub the glass rod with the silk cloth, what will happen? There is some friction between the glass rod and the silk cloth. When there is some friction, some heat energy is released. When that heat energy is taken by the electrons will start to vibrate. When they start to vibrate, when they get the sufficient energy to come out of the atoms, they will come out of the atoms. Now, the glass will become positive charge and the silk cloth will become negative charge. That means when I am rubbing the glass rod with the silk cloth, there is some friction. Because of the friction, some heat energy is released, and this heat energy is taken by the electrons, and the electrons will start to vibrate fastly. The electrons will gain some kinetic energy. When the kinetic energy is greater than the force of attraction, then the electrons will come out of the body. Now these electrons are coming out of the glass rod and they are coming and falling into the silk cloth. Therefore the silk cloth is becoming negative charge and the glass rod is becoming positive charge. Now see here. I took a glass rod and silk cloth. When I rub this glass rod with the silk cloth, there will be some heat energy. First of all, there will be some friction, and because of the friction, some heat energy is released, and this heat energy is taken by the electrons in the glass rod. When the heat energy is taken by the electrons, the kinetic energy of the electrons will be increasing. Once the kinetic energy of the electrons increased a lot, then the electrons will jump from glass rod to the silk cloth. The electrons will jump from glass rod to the silk cloth. Now, the glass rod is losing electrons. When I am taking out the electrons from this body, this will become a positive charged body. Therefore, the glass rod will become positive charged body, and the silk cloth is gaining the electrons. Therefore, the silk cloth will become a negative charged body. This is the charging of the glass rod and silk cloth by using the process known as friction, and this process is known as electrification. In this electrification, friction is one of the method. Okay, now we'll see the next one. When I rub the plastic rod with woolen cloth, then the woolen cloth will gain the positive charge and the plastic rod will gain negative charge. The electrons from the woolen cloth will come and jump to the plastic rod. Therefore, this will become negative charge and the woolen cloth will become positive charge. Why these are, one is becoming positive and why another one is becoming negative? What is the reason? Why can't the silk cloth can be positive? Why can't the glass rod can't be negative? Why? Because it will depend on the electron affinity. What is electron affinity? You will study in this chemistry. What is electron affinity? Electron affinity is nothing but the capacity, the tendency to attract the electrons. The tendency to attract the electrons. That means the body which is having more electron affinity, that will gain the electrons very easily. Now if I compare glass and silk, the silk is having more electron affinity. Therefore, the silk will gain the electrons and the glass will lose the electrons. Therefore, this will become positive charge and this will become negative charge. When I consider plastic rod and woolen cloth, plastic and woolen, Now say me, which is having more electron affinity? The plastic rod is having more electron affinity. When this is having more electron affinity, it will gain the electrons very easily. Therefore, this is gaining the electrons, so it is becoming negative charge, and this is losing the electrons, therefore it is becoming positive charge. It will depend on the pairs. If I take plastic rod and silk cloth, it may change. If I take glass rod and woolen, it may change. That means depending on the pairs, one will become positive, one will become negative. Which is having more electron affinity, that will become negative, and which will having less electron affinity, that will become positive. That is by friction. Okay. Next one, by conduction. Now what is conduction? Now see here. Okay. Now what is conduction? Okay, before knowing about the conduction, you should always remember one thing. Now see, this is a body, and if I want to make it a positive charge, then how can I make this as a positive charge? If I want to make it as a positive charge, I have to remove the electrons. If I want to make this body as a positive charge, I have to remove the electrons. And if I want to make this as a negative charge, then what I have to do? If I want to make it as a negative charge, I can't remove positive charges. I can't remove. The positive charges are nothing but the protons. The protons are always present in the nucleus of the atom. We can't remove the positive charges. That means the protons from a nucleus of atom. It is not possible. Therefore, only possibility is to move the electrons in and out. That means if I want to make it as a negative charge, then I have to add the electrons. If I want to make a positive charge, I have to remove the electrons. See, there is a body. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and positive, negative. There are 4 protons and 4 electrons. Now the body is neutral. Now how can I make this body? How can I make this body as a positive charge? I can make this body as a positive charge if I remove 1 electron. That means if I remove 1 electron, now the charge on the body is 1 positive charge. These are counterbalanced. These are neutralized. But this is having a positive charge. There is no negative charge. If I remove the electron, that body will become a positive charge. Now this is a condition. The body is neutral. Now if I add the electron, that means if I add one more charge, already the body is neutral. When I add electron, that body will become negative charge. That means always remember, the positive charges we can't move. Only electrons are moved. If I want to make a body a positive charge, I have to remove the electrons. If I want to make a body negative charge, I have to add the electrons. Please remember this. Please. Okay. Now we will go to the conduction. Okay, now see what is conduction. I want to charge this body. I want to charge this body A. Now I am taking one more body B, which is already charged Q. Now already it is charged. Now what is conduction here? I want to charge this body. When I want to charge this body, I am taking already a charged body and I am making contact with it. I am just simply touching it, or I am simply joining the wire between the two bodies. That means when I join a wire between two bodies, what will happen? The charge will start to flow from body B to body A. Till when the charge will flow? The charge will flow till both the bodies will acquire same charge. That is Q dash and Q dash. Both the bodies will acquire same charge. Even when I remove the wire, the charges on the bodies will be same. That is Q dash and Q dash. Always remember, these are identical bodies. Usually, the charges will flow till the potentials are same. But we will study about the potential in next chapter. Till then, remember, for two identical bodies, the charges will flow till the charges are same. That means the charge on this body and the charge on this body will be same. Therefore, what is Q dash? We assume that charge on this is Q1, the charge on this is Q2. Therefore, when I join with the wire, the final charges will be Q dash is nothing but Q1 plus Q2 by 2. This is the final charge. This is the final charge. Q dash is the final charge. Till this charge, the charge will start to flow. If I assume Q2 is greater than Q1, then the charges will start to flow from Q2 to Q1. Till when it will flow? Till the charges are same. That means Q dash and Q dash. Now what is the final charge of the body? The final charge of the body after conduction process is Q1 plus Q2 by Now here there is one drawback. What is that? There is one drawback. Whenever I want to charge this body, some charge of this body is gone. If I want to charge this body to a Q, that means I have to remove the charge from here to Q and then I have to give to that. That means the charge on this body is decreasing if I want to charge this body. Will you guys accept that? This problem can be overcome by using this induction method. Okay, now same is here. These 10 coulombs and these 5 coulombs. When I join with a wire, once if I join with the wire and I remove the wire, what is the final charge of the body? The final charges are Q1, Q. Both the bodies will have same charges. So Q value is Q1 plus Q2 by 2. What is Q1? 10. Plus what is Q2? 5 by 2. That is nothing but 15 by 2. That is nothing but 7.5 coulombs. That means the final charge of the bodies are 7.5 coulombs and 7.5 coulombs. That means 2.5 coulombs are removed from this body and they are given to that body. That means the charge on this body is decreasing. To increase the charge on this body, the charge on this body is decreasing. That is a drawback of this conduction. Always remember, now which charge is moving? Now see here the charge is 10 coulombs and it is becoming 7.5 coulombs. Now what I have to do? I have to add the electrons or I have to remove the electrons. Think. What happened here? I removed the electrons or I added the electrons. What happened? See here. This body is having 10 coulombs. That means I assume 10 positive charges. 10 positive charges. Okay. Now, it became 7.5. How can it become 7.5? What I have to do? I have to add electrons or I have to remove electrons. Think. I have to add electrons. If I am adding the electrons, then this positive charge will be countervised with one electron. Again this one will be counterized and again this one will be counterized till it becomes 7.5. That means for this I am adding the electrons. From where the electrons are coming? The electrons are coming from this 5 coulomb charge. That means this is having only 5 positive charges. Now if I remove one electron from it, again one more positive charge will be increased. Again if I remove one more electron, again one more positive charge will be increased. That means if I want to make it more positive, I have to remove the electrons. That removed electrons I am giving to this. That means the charge is flowing from one body to another body. Always electrons will flow. Therefore, the final charges are 7.5 and 7.5. This process of charging a body is known as conduction. Simply by touching the bodies. If I touch the body, the charge will flow till the charges of both the bodies will be same. And now, after conduction, will the bodies will attract or repel? The conduction process precedes repulsion. That means after the charging, this is having a 7.5 coulomb charge and these are having 7.5 coulomb. Both are same charge. That means what will happen? They will repel each other. Now see this one, minus 5 coulombs and this one is plus 20 coulombs. This is negative charged body and this is positive charged body. When I connect them to a wire and when I remove the wire, what will happen? The bodies will have the same charge, that is Q dash and Q dash. What is Q dash value? That is Q1 plus Q2 by 2, that is minus 5 plus 20 by 2. That is nothing but 15 by 2, that is nothing but 7.5 coulombs. That means the final charge of the bodies are 7.5 and 7.5. Will you accept that? How much charge is flown from this body to this body? How much of charge? Initially it is 20. Now it is only 7.5. How much is, what is the difference? Difference is 12.5. Therefore 12.5 coulombs of charge is moved from here to here. First point. Now next point. From where to where the charges are flown? Electrons are flown. From where to where the electrons are flown? Minus 5 coulombs. It is becoming positive charge. That means I am making this body as a positive charge. That means I have to remove the electrons. That means electrons are moving from minus 5 coulombs to plus 20 coulombs. The electrons are moving from this body to this body, and we will assume that usually the charge is moving from, charge means positive charge. If in the question if they mention positive charge, that means it is a positive charge. Or charge is moving from this body to this body, electrons are moving from here to here. Okay, what is the final charge? 7.5, 7.5. That means both the charges are same. That means what will happen after conduction process? They will repel each other. That means after conduction, the conduction process precedes repulsion. Please remember this. Okay. Now we will see the induction. Now what about the friction? The friction. What happened to the friction of the bodies after friction process? Electrification by using friction method. One will gain positive charge, another body will gain negative charge. That means they precedes attraction. Conduction process they precedes repulsion. Now what happened to the induction? What is induction now here? In conduction is the process of charging the body by touching the body by direct contact. But induction, without direct contact, I will charge a body. Now see how I am charging the body. This is a neutral body, and I want to make this body as a negative charged body. Assume I want to make it as a negative charged body. Now if I want to make it as a negative charged body, I will bring a positive charged rod. The charge of this rod is Q. Now when I bring a positive charge rod near to this body, what will happen? All the negative charges will be attracted this side, and all the positive charges will be repelled far. All the electrons will be attracted, all the negative charges will be attracted, and all the positive charges will be repelled far. Now what I am doing here? Now I am joining this one with a earth connection. That means I am simply connecting a wire from the body to the earth. Earth is a huge reservoir of electrons. It is a huge reservoir of electrons. If as many electrons we give to the earth, that many electrons it will take, earth will take. As many electrons, if you want from the earth, that many electrons it will give to us. That means earth is a huge reservoir of electrons. If you want to give the electrons to the earth, you can give as many electrons, no problem. And if you want to take electrons from the earth, you can take as many electrons. There is no limit. No. And the potential of earth is 0. Please remember this. And we will study about the potential in next chapter. The potential of the earth is 0, and electrons can be given to the earth as many we need, and we can take from the earth as many we want. Okay, see. Now this is a positive charge, and what will happen? The electrons will start to move from the earth, and the electrons will be filling these positive charges. When one electron is coming and is filling with one positive charge, this is counterbalanced. That means the number of electrons will come in such a way that all these positive charges are counterbalanced. And when I remove the earth connection, what is the charge present in this? The charge present in this only is negative charge. That means after induction process, when I remove the earth connection, what will happen? This body A will be a negative charged body. And the charge on this body is, now what is the charge I used? I used Q. This body also will acquire the same charge Q. That will be negative charge, that is minus Q. Now if I want to make a body, this one as a positive charge. Now see what I am doing. I want to make this body as a positive charge. Now I am bringing a negative charge rod. When I bring a negative charge rod, all the positive charges will be attracted this side, and all the electrons are repelled that side. Now when I connect to earth, what will happen? Earth can take as many electrons you can give, and only electrons will be moved. Positive charges won't move. Therefore electrons will start to move from body to the earth. Slowly the electrons will be moving, all the electrons will be taken by the earth. And when I remove the earth connection, what will happen? Finally the charge on the body A is a positive charge. The charge is, if it is minus Q, this will become positive charge. That means induction process, I am not touching the bodies. And this body is known as inducing body. This body is known as inducing body, and this is known as induced body. Or you can leave it. This body is inducing body. Always the induced body will get the opposite charge of the inducing body. And the charge of this body, rod, initially it is Q. After induction process, the charge will be Q only. The charge won't change for this rod. Here also initially it is minus Q. Even after induction process also charge will be minus Q. The charge won't change. That means one rod I can use for charging many bodies. But if it is conduction, I can't, it is not possible. The charge, if it is a conduction, then the charge on this rod will decrease. But if it is induction, the charge on this body won't change. Without direct contact, I can charge this object. But the charge on this object won't change. Please remember this. This is the process known as induction. Now, what happened to induction? It precedes. One body is negative charge. This is becoming positive charge. This is a positive charge. This is becoming a negative charge. That means it precedes attraction. Please remember this. Okay. One more main point. If this is a metal or a pure conductor, if it is a metal or a pure conductor, then this will gain. If I am using a rod of charge Q, then the same charge minus Q will be induced here. If it is a pure conductor means. If it is a pure metal or if it is a pure conductor, then the same charge, same magnitude will be induced. But if it is not a pure conductor, now it is insulator. Insulator means, I think we know it. What is insulator? Or it may be a dielectric. Dielectric also nothing but insulator, which won't allow the current to flow pass through it, which won't have any free electrons. Those are nothing but insulators or dielectrics. When this body is an insulator, then the charge will be not minus Q. It will be less than minus Q. That means the charge on this will be some Q dash, and the magnitude of this Q dash is less than this Q. If it is a pure conductor, then the same charge will be induced. If it is 10 coulombs, minus 10 coulombs will be induced. If it is 5 coulombs, minus 5 coulombs will be induced. But if it is an inductor or insulator, the same magnitude won't be induced. If it is 5 coulombs, here only 4 will be induced. If it is 10 coulombs, here only 8 will be induced. Please understand. If it is a dielectric, the charge induced will be little bit less when compared to the inducing charge. Please remember, this is nothing but induction. Okay. Now see here. This is till now what I thought, it is only for board exam. They won't give NEET or JEE. Simply for one who is preparing for board exam, please remember this. Okay, next one. Properties of charge. Actually, it is basic properties of charge. Now see, what are the basic properties of charge? Now what is assigned of charge? The assigned of charge is, what is assigned of charge? Coulombs. That means C. Okay, now see, what is the first point? Charge is always conserved. Charge is always conserved. What is energy? Energy is always conserved. Energy can't be created or not destroyed. It will be converted from one form to another form. I can convert the heat energy to potential energy, or I can convert the potential energy to mechanical energy. But I can't destroy the energy, or I can't create the energy. I can simply convert from one form to another form. The same thing. The charge is conserved. I can't create the charge, or I can't destroy the charge. I can only transfer the charge from one body to another body. Please remember this. Charge is conserved. I can transfer the body charge from one body to another body only. But I can't destroy or create a charge. For charge is always conserved. Okay. The next one. Additive property of charge. What is the meaning of this? That means the total charge present in a body is equal to the sum of algebraic sum of all the charges present in it. That means, see here, this is a body. Here the charge is plus 5 coulombs. Here the charge is minus 2 coulombs. Here the one more body, the charge is having minus 1 coulombs. Another body is having plus 5 coulombs. What is the total charge of this box? The total charge of this whole body is how much? is simply the algebraic sum of the charges, individual charges. That means the total charge Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4, so on. Therefore, what is the charge? It is plus 5, minus 2, minus 1, plus 5. Therefore, 10 minus 3 is nothing but 7 coulombs. Therefore, the charge of this body is 7 coulombs. The algebraic sum of simply the charge of the whole body is simply the algebraic sum of all the charges. If it's a positive charge, keep positive. If it's negative charge, keep negative. Simple algebraic sum. That's all. There is nothing but additive property of the charge. Now next one. Charge is quantized. What's the meaning of this quantized? I am writing always 5 coulombs. Okay, well and good. See here, the charge is always must be in the integral multiple of a basic unit of charge, that is electron. This here, Q is must be always equal to the integral multiple of an electron. It means the charge of electron is how much? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. The charge can't be less than this electron. I can't break the electron. The least value of the charge is the charge of an electron. I can break the electrons into pieces. The least value is 1 electron. This is the quantized. That means the basic unit of charge is fixed. Therefore, whatever be the body, this body should have 100 electron charges, 200 electron charges, 1000 electron charges, 10 power 100 electron charges. That means the charge must be integral multiple of the electron charge. That is basic unit. Basic unit of charge is 1 electron charge. Please remember this. The Q is always equal to integral multiple of the basic unit of charge. The basic unit of charge is nothing but what is the basic least value of charge is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. That is the value. Usually we represent this charge with a symbol that is E bar. That's all. See here, the Q can be 5 electron charge, or the Q can be plus 5 electron charge, minus 5 electron charge. That means the body is positive charge and here the body is negative charge. But I can't make it as 4.5 electron charge. Why? Why? Because always the charge has to be integral multiple of an electron charge. I come 4.5 means 4 electrons completely plus half electron, which is not possible. I can't break the electron. The least value must be a multiple of electron. Therefore, it is not possible. That is the meaning of charge is quantized. The charge must be integral multiple of the basic unit of charge, that is 1 electron charge, that is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. If 1 electron charge is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, now for 1 coulomb, how many electrons are there? Semi. For 1 electron, the charge of the electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. For 1 coulomb of charge, how many electrons must be there? X. Find the value of x. Simply 1 by x must be equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 by 1. Simply divide. Therefore, what is x? X is nothing but 1 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. How much? 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. 6.25 into 18 10 power 18 electrons. This many electrons must be there to form 1 coulomb of charge. If I told like this body is having 1 coulomb of charge, in that body these many electrons must be there at least. Then only I can say it is 1 coulomb of charge. Okay, please remember that. Okay, next one. That is Q is equal to plus or minus NE. Okay. Now these are important points. These are common. Now these are very important points here. Charge is invariant. What is the meaning of this? Charge is invariant. What is the meaning of that? The charge can't change its value when it is in motion. The value of the charge can't be changed when it is in motion. Simple. That means the charge of this body is 10 coulombs. When the body is at rest, it is 10 coulombs. When the body is in motion, it will be the value, the magnitude will be 10 coulombs only. The magnitude of the charge won't change when it is in motion. Even though when it is in motion, or even though when it is at charge, when it is at rest, the magnitude of the charge will be same. That means the charge is invariant. The value of the charge won't be changing when the body is in motion. Okay. All the excess charge will be residing on the surface of the body, on the surface of conductor. Now see here, that means this is a body. When I gave some charge to it, some Q, always the charges will be on the surface of the conductor. Always the charges will be on the surface of the conductor. There nothing, no charge will be present inside the conductor. If it is a conductor, the charge inside the body is 0. Always all the charges will be present on the surface of the conductor. All the excess charges will be residing only on the surface of a conductor. Please remember this. If it is a conductor, then all the charges will be on the surface. No charge will be inside the body. If it is an insulator, then if I give the charge at this point, the charge will be there itself. It won't move on the surface. If I give the charge at this point, the charge will be there itself. Where I gave the charge, there only the charge will be present. But if it is a conductor, wherever you give the charge will be always resides on the surface. Please remember this point. Okay, well and good. Next one. The surface charge density. The surface charge density is inversely proportional to R square. Now what is the meaning of this? The surface charge density is inversely proportional to R square. That means what is surface charge density? Now see here. This is a plate. Assume this is a plate. This plate is of 10 meters square area. Now charge is 10 coulombs. Now what is the charge present in 1 meter square plate? 1 meter square plate, that is only 1 coulomb. That means simply the charge density is given by the symbol sigma. Therefore sigma is equal to Q by area. Q by area. That means sigma is nothing but, area is nothing but pi r square. Therefore 1 by r square. That means the surface charge density will depend on 1 by r square. R is the radius of the body. If radius of the body is more, then the surface charge density will be less. Now see here. This is a rectangular body. Now what is the radius of the plane surface? What is the radius of plane surface? The radius of plane surface is infinity at 0. The radius of plane surface is infinity. Why it is infinity? Now see here. A big earth, now assume you are standing on there. How you will see the surface of the earth? You will see the surface of the earth as a plane surface. Will you guys accept it? That means if I take a circle of infinity radius, then in that if I assume a small part, then the small part it will be visible as a plane surface. That means the plane surface is nothing but a small part of a circle having a radius infinity. That means the plane surface, the radius is infinity. If radius is infinity, 1 by infinity is 0. That means the surface charge density for a plane surface is 0. That means if I give any charge to it on a plane surface, here the charge will be 0. There won't be any charge in the plane surfaces. But where the charges will be? The charges can't be inside. The charges has to be always on the surface. Even on the surface, the surface charge density will depend on the 1 by r square. That means at the corners. What is a corner? A corner will be a small arc. That means radius is very, very small. A corner, a sharp object. That means the corner, that is a radius is very, very small radius. If radius is very small, 1 by small value is very large value. Therefore, the surface charge density will be very huge. That means whatever be the charge you are giving to a body, always the charge will be on the surface, and that too only on the corners. The charges will be like this. Only on the corners. On the plane surface, the charge will be 0. Please remember this. That is the reason why we will use the sharp objects on the top of that lightning rods. We'll call it as lightning rods. That means when there is any thunder, all the electrons will be absorbed by the sharp objects. Always electrons will target the sharp objects because there the surface charge density is more. Therefore, that is the reason why we will use a sharp objects at the top of the building. So if there is any thunder, that will be attracted by the sharp objects. Therefore, all the electrons will be moving into sharp objects and that will be connected to the earth. Therefore, without any damage to the appliances, all the electrons will be going to the earth's surface. There is nothing but lightning shielding. Lightning is nothing but light shielding. That is nothing but electron shielding. Okay. There is one more. Sixth point is sigma is inversely proportional to r square. Okay, now see here. The radius of the plane surface is infinity. Please remember. Okay, next one. See the next point. When the charge is at rest, it will give me only electric field. When the charge is at rest, it will give me only electric field. When the charge is moving with a velocity, then this will give me both electric field plus magnetic field. When the charge is at rest, then it will give me only electric field. When the charge is at moving with a velocity, then it will give me both electric field plus magnetic field. When the charge is moving with an acceleration, then it will give me EM waves. We will study about this magnetic field, we will study about this EM waves. There are separate chapters for this. Magnetic field chapter and electromagnetic waves. Just present remember, when the charge is at rest, it will give me only electric field. When the charge is at velocity, it will give me both electric field and magnetic field. And then when the charge is moving with an acceleration, it will give me electromagnetic waves, EM waves. Now last one, 8th point. When the body is charging, then the mass of the body will change. Now see, I am taking this body. Initially the mass of this body is assume 5 grams. Assume the body of the mass assume 5 milligrams. The mass of this body is 5 milligrams. Now if I want to make it as a positive charge, now same way whether the mass is increased or mass is decreased. If I want to make it as a positive charge, what I have to do? If I want to make it as a positive charge, I have to remove the electrons out. If I want to make it as a positive charge, I have to remove the electrons out. The mass of the electron is how much? 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. That means if I remove one electron, the mass is decreased by this much amount. That means if I am making a positive charged body, accordingly the mass will change. And if I want to make it as a negative charged body, then I have to give the electrons. That means the mass is increasing. That means if I want to make this body as a positive charged body, I have to remove the electrons. When I am removing the electrons, this mass of the body is decreasing. Now if I want to make it as a negative charged body, then I have to give the electrons. If I am giving the electrons, I am increasing the mass of the body. That means when the body is charging, the mass of the body will change. When I am making a positive charge, the mass will decrease. When I am making it as a negative charge, the mass will increase. Please remember that point. That's all. These are enough. These are the basic properties of charge. And please remember this. These three are important. Excess charge on the surface. Only for a conductor, the charge will be on the surface. That too on the corners. And when the body is at rest, it will give me electric field. When the body is at velocity, it will give me both electric field and magnetic field, and so on. When I am making a positive charge, the mass of the body will decrease. When I am making a negative charge, the mass of the body will increase. A body can present with mass with no charge. A body can be having mass, and this may or may not have charge. But if the body is having charge, then that should have mass. Please remember this. A body without charge having mass is possible. A body without charge having mass is possible. But a charge without mass is not possible. Please remember this. Charge is nothing but an electron. Electron is having some mass. Please remember this. If the body is having some charge, that means it should have some mass. A massless body won't have charge. Please remember this. Okay. Now we'll see a small problem, very small problem. The total positive and negative charge present in 1 cup of water is how much? That means 1 cup means nothing but 180 grams. Simply they will to find the number of positive charges, number of electrons, number of negative charges present in 1 cup of water. That means 180 grams of water. Now what is the molecular mass of water? The molecular mass of water is how much? It is nothing but 18 grams. That means for 18 grams, for 1 mole of water will have 18 grams. Okay, in 18 grams, how many electrons, how many particles will be there? How many water molecules will be there? 1 Avogadro number of particles. That means 6. We can take 6.02, right? You can take it 6 into 10 power 23 water molecules, H2O molecules. In 180 grams, how many? In 180 grams, it will be 6 into 10 power 23 into 10 is 24 H2O molecules. That meaning H2O molecules will be present in 180 grams of water. Okay. For one molecule, how many electrons are there? In oxygen, 8 electrons, and in hydrogen, 1 electron. 2 hydrogen atoms are therefore 2 electrons. Therefore total 10 electrons are there. That means in 180 grams of water, how many electrons are there? Simply 10 into this many. This many molecules are there. In each molecule, this many electrons are there. Therefore, 6 into 10 power 25 electrons are present. In 180 grams of water, this many electrons are present. Well and good. 1 coulomb means how many? 1 coulomb means how many electrons? 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. That means I can assume it as 6 nearly. 1 coulomb will have this many electrons. Now this many electrons means how many? How much charge? 6 into 10 power 25 electrons. How many charge? X coulombs. What is the value of x? 1 by x is equal to 6 into 10 power 18 by 6 into 10 power 25. What is the x value? Number 25 minus 18. It is nothing but 10 power 7. 10 power 7 coulombs of charge is present in this body. Total charge present is 10 power 7 coulombs, 10 power 7 coulombs and 10 power 7 minus coulombs. This much of positive charge and this much of negative charge. And this is not exactly. I assumed as the approximate value 6.023. Here it is 6.25. I assumed as approximately and I got 10 power 7 coulombs of charge. Positive charge will be 10 power 7 coulombs and negative charge will be 10 power 7 coulombs. Maximum charges which I can get from this body, from this 180 grams of water. The maximum charge what I can get from 180 grams of water is this much. Okay, by this we completed the just basics of electrostatics, and maximum of this they won't come in NEET and JEE. This video is only for NCERT board, the CBSE board exams, that's all. Only for board exam. Maximum they won't give any NEET or JEE. Only if anything comes, that will only come in conduction, induction and the basic properties. They can give the questions as a objective questions in NEET or JEE. That's all. Remaining concept they won't give. So in next video we will see about the Coulomb's law, vector form of Coulomb's law and principle of superposition theorem. We will see all this in next video. And if you guys have any doubt, it may be any topic, it may be from 11th class, it may be from this 12th class, it may be from ray optics, it may be from magnetic fields, it may be from nuclear physics, please mention your mail or my WhatsApp number which is given in the description. Within 24 hours, your doubts will be clarified. Thank you.